Hi guys, my name is Marissa and welcome back to my channel. In today's Financial Friday video, I'm going to be showing you how to get out of debt using the debt snowball. In my budgeting video earlier in this series, I used an example of a budget without factoring in any debt. And I know that for most people, that is not a reality. Most Americans have student loans, they have a car payment, they've got some sort of medical or credit card debt, sometimes both. They're making payments on their cell phone. If this is your situation, I'm going to show you how my husband and I were able to pay off our debt using this method. Having debt payments really ties up your income. It prevents you from saving enough for retirement. For some people, it prevents them from being able to buy a home. It makes it difficult to pay for your kids to go to college, to save money for major expenses. And for a lot of people, when they've got their income going out in debt payments, it makes it difficult to stop that cycle of debt. It makes it challenging the next time you need a car to be able to save up the money and just pay cash for it versus financing it. You're going to have to make sacrifices in order for your family to successfully get out of debt. In my last Financial Friday video, I showed 10 things that my husband and I did to get ourselves out of debt. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it in a card above. For this example, we're going to say that this individual, they've got it all. They've got $25,000 in student loans. They've got a $10,000 car loan. They have a $1,000 cell phone payment that they're making. They've got $6,000 in medical. They have $4,000 in credit card debt. They're spread pretty thin on all of these payments. They've got their income going to all of these different areas and having to make monthly payments on purchases that they've already made. What the debt snowball does is takes all of your debts. So you're going to look up what the balance is on every single debt payment that you're making, or even payments that you're not making. If you're in collection for certain items because you haven't actively been paying on those items, you're going to factor those in too. Sometimes people will just pull a credit report so that they can see everything that's being reported, and that'll have your balance right there on it. So you're going to take that information and you're going to figure out what is your smallest debt. In the example that I was using, this person had $1,000 that they were making payments on a cell phone. That was their smallest debt. So they're going to put that at the very top of their list. Then they're going to list all of their other debts. Every balance, they're going to list it from smallest all the way up to their largest. I was saying this person had $25,000 in student loan debts. That was their largest debt. So you're going to take the smallest debt, list all of them out to the smallest debt. Here is an example of what it looks like written out. We said that our individual had a cell phone that they owed $1,000 on, and their monthly payment is $25. Next, they had a credit card that they owe $4,000 on. We're going to say that that payment is $50 per month. Then this person has medical bills that they owe $6,000 on, and that payment is $150 per month. Then they have their car that they owe $10,000 on. That payment is $300 per month. And finally, they have student loans with $25,000, and that payment is also $300 per month. Here I have written down all of the debts, smallest to largest, including what those monthly payments are. Once you've got everything written out, you're going to take a look at your budget. I've already shown you in a prior video, I'll link it in a card above, how to create a monthly budget. Once you've done that, you're going to evaluate your budget and you're going to find any extra money, any money that you are putting into savings, any extra money that you're using on recreation. You're going to just evaluate every category in your budget and figure out where you can cut to free up some extra money on a monthly basis. Once you've done that, you're going to take that extra money and you're going to apply it to your smallest debt payment. So we're going to say that you found an extra $100 per month. So we're going to add $100 a month to this cell phone bill. Now we're making a payment of $125 a month. During the process, you're going to continue to pay the minimums on all your other payments. Take that $125 that you're paying on your cell phone and keep paying the minimums on everything else. So we're not going to worry about everything else. We're going to keep paying the minimums, but we're not going to worry about getting rid of those debts. Right now, we are focused just on our cell phone, just on our smallest debt, and putting any extra money that we have towards that smallest debt to get it paid off. We're going to continue to make this $125 per month payment until our cell phone is paid off. Once we've paid off our cell phone, we've got an extra $125 a month that we were using to cover paying off this cell phone. Now, instead of patting yourself on the back and feeling like now you've got some extra money, you're going to instead take that $125 and roll it into your next debt. You're already used to paying that $125 on your cell phone. You're not going to feel any differently if you just pretend like you've still got that payment, but instead of putting it towards the cell phone, now we're going to add it to our credit card. We were paying $50 on our credit card. We're already used to paying that $50, and we were also paying $125 on our cell phone. What we're going to do now is take that $125, add it to the $50 for a total of $175 per month. The reason that this is called a snowball is you can see you start to build some momentum here. You were only paying $50 towards your credit card. How much faster are you going to get that credit card paid off if you're now making $175 a month payments? And again, you're just going to continue to pay the minimums on everything else. We're not worried about those right now. We don't want them to go into arrears, but we're not worried about attacking those at this point. We're just focused on the credit card. Once I paid off my first debt, I started to get really excited and see a clear path of how I was going to be able to pay off all of our debts. I think that that's the case for most people, which is why you put the smallest debt at the top, so that you start to feel those little wins along the way. You get excited when you pay off a debt, and now you've scratched one off the list and you're that much closer to being debt-free. You also build momentum a lot faster towards the end, and it gives you that push to continue going until you're done. Now, we're making $175 per month payments. We're going to continue to do that until this $4,000 in credit card debt is paid off. The key here is not to continue to go into debt. We need to be careful about sticking with our budget, because if we're just digging a hole in the bottom and filling it up with new debt, that defeats the entire purpose of what we're doing. So during this process, we need to also be sticking to our budget and making sure that we're not going into debt in other areas. No longer owe $4,000 in credit card debt. Now all we've got left is medical, car, and student loan. We've had this $175 now that we were paying towards our credit card bill. We're just going to take that and roll it right into our medical bill. Keep in mind at this point, this medical bill balance is probably lower. It's no longer $6,000 because you've been making payments on it throughout this process. I'm going to take this $175, add it to the $150, and your payment is $325 per month. You have $325 now that's going every month towards your medical bills. You are really feeling the progress, you're feeling the momentum a lot of people are going to start finding other areas in their budget that they can cut. Maybe they don't need to go out to eat. Maybe they don't need to pick up that coffee. You're going to really start feeling this progress and want to find more money. A lot of people, by the time they get to their third debt, have found more money in their budget to free up. If that's your case, you're going to just go ahead and add that to the debt snowball too. We're going to say, though, that they're sticking with $325 per month. That's going towards the $6,000 worth of debt until it's paid off. And like the others, once that's paid off, you're going to take that $325, roll it into the next debt. Now, you're now paying $625 per month towards your car payment. How fast are you going to be able to pay off that $10,000 worth of debt, making $625 a month payments? And keep in mind, you're not feeling any differently than you were at the beginning of this process when you had all of these debts. It feels exactly the same for your budget. You haven't actually put extra money towards it. You've just taken these payments and rolled it into the next. Once that's paid off, scratch it off. Now you're going to take $625. You're going to add it to the $300 that you're already paying every month in your student loans. You're going to start making $925 per month payments on your student loans. Most people plan on being in student loan debt for the majority of their life. They do not have a plan when they get out of college of how they're going to pay back all of those loans that they've taken out. $25,000 is a pretty conservative balance when you're looking at what most people owe in student loan debt. Whatever your numbers are, you're just going to plug them in here and start working your own debt snowball. If this person had just stuck with the $300 per month that was set up when they graduated from college, they would have been paying on this student loan debt for years and years and years. How much does that $300 affect you being able to save for retirement, you being able to save for your kids to go to college, you being able to buy your first house, you being able to go on vacation with your family? It makes a huge difference. And if that debt is just weighing you down for 10, 15, 20, 30 years into the future, it's going to make a difference on the other areas that you're able to succeed financially. We're now going to be making $925 per month payments towards this student loan. Think about how quickly you could pay down your student loan debt if you were making significant strides like this. In prior Financial Friday videos, I have shown how to create a budget. I've given tips of things that my husband and I eliminated to get out of debt. It's not realistic to think that every person is going to have this laser focus intensity and they're not going to have items that are important to them that they're just not willing to sacrifice to get out of debt. In my next video, I will show you the 10 items that my husband and I weren't willing to cut in order to get out of debt. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss the next time that I upload. Bye!